You're so gross.
You have to like it or you're sexist.
Oh man, I hope you guys enjoyed all that and everything. Oh snap, what is this? You guys already know what this is. It's the most iconic music there is. No need for introduction, you guys will know yourselves. Anyways, that video and the intro, I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was short, it was sweet, to the point, just what it was. It took me literally like 3 minutes to make it. Let me turn that down a little bit, even though it's so great. Welcome back, everybody. I'm your host, Armando Ortega, and this is another episode of The Mind of Mando. I hope everybody's doing great right now. You're at work. I hope the rest of your shift goes smoothly. If you guys were at graveyard, I hope you have a good day's sleep. You deserve it. So today, I'll be talking. Oh, damn. Oh, my God. Look at this beauty. I was 8 years old. 8 years old when Spider-Man 1 dropped, back in 2002. Like, and then the first movie video game tie-in dropped, still in elementary school. And the fact that December of 2021, so I was 27, and I finally saw Tobey Maguire on the big screen again with Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland. It was like a dream come true. The movie was pure fan service. There's no denying that. But it was fan service done right. No messages, no agendas, nothing. All they wanted to do was make a good Spider-Man movie for the fans. And guess what? It was arguably one of the best films that year. And it brought people back to the theaters. It started bringing people back to cinema because they were all like, wow, look at this. Look at this. This is incredible. Why can't more movies be like that? Why can't TV shows be like that? Tobey Maguire, the absolute best Spider-Man. You can't argue with me. Yeah, the others are cool. This guy is number one, for reals. Well, anyways, let me just talk about the new episode of She-Hulk. Don't worry, it's not going to take too much time. Just a few points on it. And I think you guys might be surprised what I got to say about it. She-Hulk, episode 5, that just came out, was it Thursday? Yeah, yesterday. Not bad. Not bad at all. Hold on. Oh, too soon. The best part is about to come up, I swear to God. Bet your ass I'm rewatching Spider-Man today. Well, anyways, the episode 5, not bad at all. Why? How is that possible? How can you say that's not bad? You were like ragging on the other episodes. Well, a couple, kind of screwed up right there. A couple of things. So something I think I was speaking to either my lady or my buddy, was that how do you call it? A lot of shows. Season 1 is usually kind of like the season that shows use in order to find their mojo and everything like that. Some example, The Office. The Office was from the first season was nothing like the rest of their seasons. Friends had a little different style they were going for every episode, where they had multiple different like storylines, and they would do one for like a few minutes and then conclude it, then do another one and then conclude it, and then do another one and then conclude it, and everything. And it's just like, that's not how they did the rest of their episodes for the following seasons. Sons of Anarchy, a lot of politics in the first season, a lot of narration and everything, at least for my taste. And the rest of the season was not that. The rest of the season, there was hardly ever any narration at all. And everybody just found the mojo for their characters. None of their characters' personalities were over exaggerated to the point where you can know the person's acting. It just felt that that's who they were. And mine's in Mines, I think I talked about Mines like a couple episodes ago, where basically Mines is basically like, if you watch the first episode and then watch the latest episode, different, completely different. We get it. You're Latin, all right. You're Latin. You're native, whatever. It was terrible when basically like you have fools that can't speak Spanish without a thick American accent, and saying stuff in Spanish where it's forced and everything. It's like, estás bien, carnal? And it's just like, how about just be like, hey, dude, you good? And there we go. It's all good. You know, you have other characters like Taza or Palo and everything like that, who speak Spanish, and they speak it fluently. Let them take the lead, you know? The rest is like, oh, cabron and everything. Chaw, let's go, eh? But yeah, it was like, ugh. But the rest of the episodes for the rest of the seasons, immaculate. Well, anyways, why is She-Hulk episode 5 better, in my opinion, than the other episodes? Well, because of this. This episode did not rely and did not use this as a crutch in order to keep their episode going. What is that? They didn't use things like feminism, victimization, or portraying men as naturally dumb or sexist. You know, they didn't rely on that on this episode. What they did instead was focus on the whole, you know, storyline of Jen being sued or being given a cease and desist letter because She-Hulk and the name being copyrighted by the person she fought in court and everything like that, and just focusing on that. That's it. You know, another thing, they're really feeding into the things that kind of would make their character unique in a sense. One thing that they started touching upon last episode, but they were really like focusing on this one, was basically Jen, the differences between her and She-Hulk. Not the usual one is insanely strong and green and the other one is normal and short, or anything like that. What they were focusing on was the physical appearance, height difference of both characters. She-Hulk is this very strong, tall, broad woman who has long wavy hair and everything like that, and like guys all like, oh my god, she's fine and everything. Jen's somebody else. she's really short, and because of her current place of employment wanting her to only be in the office as She-Hulk instead of Jen, she has to use a suit, the biggest suit she could find, that's not even tailored for her She-Hulk form, but just enough to fit her. And that was basically the whole thing of, we gotta find you better clothes. And that's when it hit me. This episode isn't making me like, ugh, like, you know, feel like this is dumb or anything. This is, if you took away She-Hulk, if you took away the superpowers and everything, I thought I was just watching another like chick flick, or just another kind of, dare I say, comedy TV show on regular TV, because it was just like, it wasn't pushing a message for the most part, and it wasn't pushing an agenda. It was just telling a story. And I was like, holy crap, you know, this is pretty decent. I can actually want to watch this maybe and everything. But how do you say it? Yeah. One of the points in there, God, I got something in my eye. I'm sorry, guys. Crap. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So they were focusing on their strengths, what makes each character unique, and it was cool, you know. The only thing that kind of bothered me was the courtroom scenes, because honestly, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know everything about court, but after watching, for Marvel standards, watching Matt Murdock talk in the courtroom as a lawyer, and comparing it to the lawyer talk in She-Hulk, it doesn't compare at all. And neither one of those can really come close to Saul Goodman from Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. So the courtroom scenes, they were but then again, they weren't meant to be taken seriously. They were cracking jokes and doing little quirks here and there and everything. It's a movie full of it. So what can I expect, really? Well, anyways, one major thing, you know how I mentioned earlier that She-Hulk didn't have a suit tailored for her. She just found a suit big enough to fit her. Well, one of the things was showing that when Jen goes to She-Hulk, the suit is her size, but when she reverts back to Jen, the suit is insanely big. So what they did is, what do you call it? There's this character, which is Jen's friend, called Nikki, and I think she's the coworker of this other lawyer guy called Pug and everything. Let me tell you, these two people, one, they're comedic reliefs, but two, their interactions with each other, dare I say, started beginning the spark of the comedy in this comedy show. Well, as soon as they're seeing him on, I was just like, huh, yeah, wow, these guys are pretty chill with each other and everything. And then I kind of started smiling. I was like, wow, these guys are actually starting to be pretty funny. And I was like, yeah. And then like they do this wacky stuff. Well, long story short, oh yeah, I should have said spoilers. One long story short, basically they end up using his drip, whatever. That part was cringe. I was like, bro, just talk normal. But they started using his hookup for his shoes to find this place where they make clothes for superhero and everything. Basically the Edna mode of the Marvel universe, so they want to get a suit, clothes, all that done for Jen, so that way when it's fitted to her when she's She-Hulk, but when she turns back into Jen, it still fits her, so she doesn't have to like look like a goof and everything, which I think is a pretty good idea. I mean, look at Bruce Banner. He had that problem where literally everything would tear away but his pants when he would revert to the Hulk, and when he went back to Bruce Banner, his pants were stretched and he was naked sometimes and everything. But yeah, so let me turn this down just a little bit. So yeah, I thought it was a pretty good idea. What do you call it? I thought to myself, oh, when did superhero fashion become a thing in the MCU? Like, yeah, you have other heroes. You had Iron Man. He made his own suits. Captain America, the government made his suits. The military made his suits. You have Thor. Thor's Thor. He just uses armor and everything. That Black Widow, again, Black Widow uses the suits made by, the government, Shield, etc. Hawkeye, same thing. Well, except in the show, they had somebody else do custom LARPing suits for them both, which I thought looked pretty good. But what everybody else, let me bring you back to this Netflix Daredevil. You see that Matt Murdock, he used clothes he just had, dressed in all black and everything. But when he got his Daredevil suit, he ended up using this guy that was being held, I guess you could say, captive for the Kingpin, because the Kingpin had his wife. And he was like, if you don't make me suits that will protect me from knives and everything like that, I'm going to kill her. And unfortunately, the guy had to work for the Kingpin. Daredevil came, helped him out, freed his woman and everything like that. And in return, he was like, I just want a suit. That's it. And the guy willingly made him a suit and willingly wanted to help Matt with his armor, with his helmet and everything like that. That's how Matt got his costume. But in the end of the day, you got to realize this wasn't something that was being advertised. This wasn't something that was being done against someone's will. This wasn't what am I saying? Yeah, this wasn't something that was advertised. This was being done against somebody's will with the threat of killing someone that they cared about. In this episode, even though it's still being kept secret, this is a business that obviously has shown some financial gain enough to either rent or buy out a giant space, have the money in order to hide it, being able to have a business as a front, able to hire a bunch of people in order to come in and work on it, and being able to get all these special materials in order to make these suits, in order to make these costumes. And it's like, not only that, they had a clientele. They had a clientele because they're busy. So I was like, when did superhero fashion become a thing? When did this become a thing? Next thing you know, they're going to go legit and advertised costumes and suits for superheroes, maybe even supervillains in the future. You know, I was like, wow, a lot has changed, you know? But yeah, so that was my whole thing when I saw that and everything like that. Spoilers again, so if you don't hear this net part, don't how do you call it, keep watching, maybe skip ahead. In the end of the episode, when, you know, what's his name gives Jen the suits they made for her, he gives her one, and I'm assuming that's the suit for her doing lawyer stuff and everything, but he gives her a second one. But the second one, I'm pretty sure, is gonna be one that's like her purple and white suit from the comic books. That's what I'm guessing and everything. So in case she wants to go out superhero or something like that. But here's the thing: he sees a box on the counter and he goes, "Oh my god, does discreet mean nothing to you guys, or confidentiality or whatever mean nothing to you guys?" And he puts the box down, and then he walks away to go grab a lid to cover it or something like that. But the camera pans into the box, and what you see is Daredevil's yellow helmet. That's right, a yellow helmet. It's a callback to his first costume in the comics, you know, using his dad's old fighting gear, fighting clothes or whatever, and fashioning himself his own suit. But yeah, it was a yellow helmet, teasing the fact that Daredevil is going to arrive soon in the episode. Most likely the next one, if they just follow the 6-episode formula. So, of course, they saved the best for last. Which reminds me, don't screw up Daredevil. I'll be so mad and everything. You know, to be honest, it shouldn't even be a spoiler, because it's just like they already revealed him like 2 or 3 times in the promotional trailers. So it's like, you know, he's coming. It would have been actually a lot more like impactful had they never showed him in the trailers, but they had to, because the show just didn't even look good on its own. So they had to rely on cameos, on people you care about. Like what? They had to rely on Wong for like 3 episodes. They had to rely on the Abomination for 2. And now they had to rely on Daredevil for their entire promotional stage and the build up to him. So yeah. Well, anyways. So yeah. I understand that the show isn't for me. I understand this isn't for people who are fans of comics but aren't fans of that type of comedy for comic fans, and I get it, you know. What do you call it? Yeah, I totally get it. The only thing is, I wouldn't have mind, and I'm sure others may feel this way, I wouldn't have mind if it weren't for the fact that they were taking characters who shouldn't be falling into that style of comedy, that style of lightheartedness, and try and change them in order for them to fit in that style of lightheartedness. Because it's just like, you can't bring the crew like the Wrecker, you can't bring Daredevil or anything like that, or the Abomination for that matter, into this type of show, because they're not meant to be characters for this type of show. They're meant to be having their own story. They're meant to do their own thing and be their own characters, because that's what they've been built to be for decades. But, you know, it is what it is now. It's being done. We just got to wait to see how Daredevil is. Other than that, second story I have to say is, how many of you guys heard of Austin McBroom? Maybe you guys know him a lot better as the father in the Ace Family channel and everything. But if you don't, allow me to explain to you who he is, or who they are. Actually, hold on. Oh, my music finished. No. What should I listen to, guys? It's just one thing. Let me see what I have saved. Actually, I'm sorry, guys. It's a bunch of dead air and everything like that. You know what? You guys ever listen to the Endless Sporadic? If you guys, how do you call it? If you guys played American Wasteland, Tony Hawk's American Wasteland, you guys may recognize this song. I know I do. Brings back nostalgia. That's right. That's right. It's a good song. You guys should check it out. You know, let me tap that real quick. Well, anyways, like I was saying is, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm like, there we go. I'm just gonna put this on after this song's done. So basically, the Ace Family is a family channel that started sometime back on YouTube, of course. And for me, I'm not a fan of family channels because it's just kind of like, it's the most basic type of entertainment. It's just honestly not good. There's nothing you can do. All you do is vlog about your daily life and try and make it seem interesting when it's not. You try and be like, oh, look at us as a couple, we're great, look how we're vibing with each other. It's not, when in reality, behind the scenes, it's not always that way. And on top of that, a lot of family channels try and use their kids as their own little view garden or whatever, view farm, or view farming, right? I don't know. Well, anyways, it's just not good. It's low quality entertainment. It's very low, low effort entertainment, and it's just not good. I don't understand why people like those type of stuff, you know? It's like they don't do anything interesting at all. Well, anyways, this family started off in their home. They had 2 kids, family vlog channel, whatever. As more and more time passed, and the more and more popular they got and everything, and the more and more subscribers that they earned, they of course started making more money. And because of that, and because the rise of money and the rise of fame and everything, they ended up making big changes and big moves, getting more cars, and actually getting to the point where they got a mansion, and then they got a second mansion, and then they combined those mansions together to make one huge mega mansion. And and people wouldn't really care much about that if it wasn't for the fact that in almost every single update, they're all like, guys, we're just like you, we're not perfect, this and that, while showing their big ass house with a bunch of luxurious crap that is absolutely not needed and everything. But yeah, well, anyways, they call themselves a minimalist and everything like that. in one episode when they were showing up their mansion and everything like that. Hold on. Yeah, when they were showing off their mansion, at one point they were in the front, and they were like, yeah, we're minimalists and everything. And they were right that they were minimalists. Correction. They barely had anything in their house. I would assume part of the reason is because it was still under construction, you know. But the other one is like the only thing they had in their house that were like unnecessary crap. You know, like abstract art, where you can literally grab a rock and just throw some chrome spray paint on it and then sell it for like thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars. It was stuff like that. But they also had a piano that could play itself, and it was just like, do you guys have beds? You know, It's just, yeah, you have like a table or somewhere to sit, you know, things that actual homes need, not just to show off your stuff. But it's just like, I guess when you're rich, you can do that, you know? And it's like, that's fine. Do it. I honestly shouldn't care. But what I do care, and what a lot of people cared about, is because after doing all this stuff, after giving a tour of their mansions, of their bedrooms, of their closets, of their bathrooms, of their living spaces, of their kitchens, of their backyards, of their pool and everything, the fact that their pool was big enough to have a jet ski in their pool, they still had the audacity to be like, well, guys, you gotta understand, we're just like you. We're all the same. And it's just like, you can't do that. You can't go to people. You don't even know your audience. We know that they're kids, but you know for a fact other adults watch you too and everything like that. And they need content. But it's just like, when these kids grow up and everything, well, this is just speculation. It's probably when these kids grow up, because they're watching the Ace family saying, guys, we're all the same. We're just like you, yada, yada, and everything like that. You know, we're not different from each other. They're going to get into their like late teens and their early 20s and be like, wow, why don't I have a mansion yet? Why don't I have a wife or kids? You know, like, why don't I have anything? And then they're going to start thinking that they're doing something wrong, because when they were younger, Austin from the Ace family was telling them that you know, they're all the same, that, you know, they can do what they're doing, and so far they have absolutely none of the rewards. None whatsoever. And it's just like, that's, you know, why are you telling kids that? That's, you know, kids are easily impressionable. They're like sponges. They retain information and everything. But yeah, so that was that's part of the reason as to part of the things as to what they were doing and everything like that. Well, here's the thing. In their video, when they were showing off their whole mansion and everything, and Austin got on his jet ski and he started, you know, riding the jet ski in their pool. On the other side, because their pool was kind of on an edge and everything, on the other side, water from the pool was falling over from the edge and everything onto the bottom. In that video, you can hear somebody yell stop, but they just graze over that. They're just like, nah, we ain't hear nothing, you know. What we later find out is someone did yell stop at them, and it was one of their neighbors, because their neighbors had like a small vineyard right there in their backyard. This is a very rich neighborhood. You could have anything wherever you want it. Well, the pool water was falling over that edge into their vineyard, and it was screwing up their vineyard and everything. Because I mean, like, pools have chlorine. You're not gonna put chlorine to try and grow your grapes. But yeah. So video was posted up on Twitter about it. It's like, look what they're doing. They're messing up. They won't stop doing this. Yada yada. What is the family who preaches that they have kindness coming out of the palm of their hand and everything? Do as a response to this? Well, they decide to, at least the wife, Catherine, decides to put out a tweet saying that, I don't know, she got haters or something like that people don't want to see them happy, how some people can be so bitter and everything. It's like, you're ruining their work. You're ruining stuff that they're using to grow that very likely is going to be used for wine. I'm not a wine drinker, so I can't really sympathize with that, but I sympathize with the hard work that people put in things. Even if not everybody's into them, it's still hard work nonetheless, and patience. That's what it was. Instead of being like, oh, I'm sorry, this and that, we won't do that anymore. They were all like, or at least build like a small wall or something right there to keep the water inside. They were all like, oh, look at these haters, these freaking haters and everything. It's ridiculous. It's just like zero accountability. Absolutely nothing is their fault. Why do I say that? Well, because later on remember when I said social media, like a couple episodes back, social media can be dangerous because if you're not smart with it, people can find out where you're at and do whatever they want and everything. Well, one example was this case, because this case, they weren't showing off their address and everything, but they were having a lot of footage of their house from the outside, and people were able to find out where they lived, and they pulled it up on the internet, and it was like, wow, cool, there it goes, that's where the Ace family lives. So there you go, they were already found out, and they didn't even give an address or a street name or anything or an exact location, but they were still found. What had happened? Oh yeah, later on, people found out that their house, they lost their house, they lost their mansion, their mega mansion. Yeah, I think it was foreclosed upon or whatever, but they lost their mansion. It was up for sale or auction or whatever, and they were no longer living in there. So later on, they go around feeling like they need to owe their fans, their kid fans, a whole reason as to why they lost their house and everything. But here's the problem. People found out everything that they were talking about was not true. It was all a lie. It was like, why was it a lie? Because people like that can't take accountability for their dumb actions, for their mistakes or anything like that. It's a lot more respectable if people just go, hey, yeah, no, I screwed up. It was just my fault. I made these choices I shouldn't have, and now it cost me my home. All I can do at this point is learn from this and get better, and that's it. But no, for them, it's a pattern. Every time something doesn't go their way and somebody else gets screwed or whatever, other people find out, they're all like, well, these people we were working with, they scammed us. They scammed us. They lied to us. It's literally almost every single backing for the controversy they're in. Oh, they scammed us. People lied to us. They weren't truthful to us. Yada, yada. I was like, wow, it's never your fault, huh? All these bad things that happen to you at such a frequent rate, but none of them were your fault. That's weird. That's odd, Well, anyways, people came out and just basically revealed that, yeah, no, they're lying. A lot of the reason their house were closed is because they screwed up and they lied about it. These like other events or whatever, or special things they were releasing and selling, it didn't go through because other people screwed up, but then they were caught up lying and everything like that. It's ridiculous. Well, anyways, you know how ridiculous it's gotten? To the point that the family has gotten into multiple lawsuits. They have fallen deep into debt and everything. I don't know how they're still standing, but even after all that, they're still throwing some events that flop. One of them was that DJ Khaled one when they were hosting their YouTuber versus TikTok boxing match. You know how dumb that sounds? And they got DJ Khaled to go there, and as soon as DJ Khaled got into the ring, they stopped the music, and no one was like cheering or anything like that or singing along. And I was like, that's sad.
All I do is win. Got money on my. And every summer, everybody is sweet and bad.
A lot of the fighters, at least at the time, they didn't even get paid, and they came out talking about it and everything. And it's like, this is sad. And like, nobody's watching your stuff. Nobody even wants to be there. What the hell? They created a festival, the Ace Fest, where they said Disneyland meets Coachella, and then people went to go to the festival, including YouTubers, one of my favorite, Tazi and everything. And you could see it was one of the saddest festivals ever. The rides, I don't even think the rides were their rides. It just happened to be next to another event that was happening, and the other event had the rides. So people can go to that event and get the rides, but then just come back and do a meet and greet with the Ace family and whatever. It was sad. They were caught stealing stock footage and lying about it. What else? One of the lawsuits with Keemstar and everything, this other YouTuber that's been around for so long, they settled it, and guess what? they one of the settlement things was they had to give their diamond play button to Keemstar. And it's just like that's like, I forgot who I was watching today who said it. That's like an NFL player, you know, going into a lawsuit and everything with somebody else, and then they settled out of court. But one of the things that needed to get done was the NFL player had to give up one of their rings. It's like, what? That's sad. That's really sad and everything. It's just like, but yeah. Well, anyways, recently they had another event that wasn't great. From what I heard, reports go, 200 tickets were sold for that event, and then they gave away 1,000 tickets. They gave away 1,000 tickets. And out of those 1,000 tickets that they gave away, not even everybody who got those tickets showed up. Like, these aren't good festivals. These aren't good events or anything like that. Why do you keep throwing them? I get it. Side hustles, make it, but make a side hustle that's realistic. It's like, well, we had all this money to get it done. And it's just like, but you didn't break even. Not only did you not break even, you fell so low in what you made back that you are now even more debt and everything. And people still need to get paid. I mean, like, that's how movies work. Let's say a movie had a budget of $100 million and everything, and finally the movie gets done, $100 million views and everything, and finally gets released. It needs to be with ticket sales, with everything, and that's not even counting promotion or anything. They make $100 million back. Cool. Now they made back the money that they spent, but the real gain is the money they make after gaining back the $100 million, enough to pay for the actors, the actresses, everything else. You know, what about that? They need to make profit, but what happens when they use $100 million, the movie is released after promotion and everything like that, and they only make back like $2 million? You know, they're $98 million in debt now. They lost that basically, and that's exactly what's going on. Just because you had the money initially doesn't mean that you can't not, like, you don't have the responsibility of making it all back and then some. It's like, that's how it works. That's how you make profits, you know. Otherwise you're right back to where you started, or even in a worse state. So they had this recent event and everything, another boxing event and everything, and this fool Austin got humbled because he got knocked out. Here's the thing. He made a video later on being like, oh, guys, you know, yeah, I got humbled, this and that. It's like, cool. Can you keep that mentality for, I don't know, the next few years, and just realize that you need to take care of your finances, because this isn't just you. This is you, your wife, and your 2 girls. Don't you want their future secured? How about you pay off the debts? How about you pay people off, get rid of these lawsuits and everything like that? And if you still want to do a side hustle during all that, make it a realistic side hustle. Make clothing, you know, make I don't know, something revolutionary. Hell, there's businesses out there that appeal to the fitness community that make chicken. They sell out different chicken with different chicken recipes and everything, that people who buy them and get them in their house can meal prep that stuff so they can eat it and watch their, you know, calories, watch their intake and everything like that. You can do that. And chicken's not that expensive, you know, which is why chicken is probably the most donated thing to homeless shelters for meat. And it's just like, you can do that. I mean, don't be like the pink sauce lady and not know that FDA, the F stands for food, get that cleared first and everything. But that's easy. Do that. Is what I'm saying. Use the money that you would have used for these flopped events. Get a sanitized place and do that and get it FDA approved. And trust me, the fitness community is huge. You are gonna break even and you're gonna make heavy profits. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm thinking and everything. So yeah, but you know, watch. He's not gonna watch this, but watch for your family, fool. It's just like the fact that you're all like, oh, my daughters, yeah, cool. Let me just put them over there because I need to throw their college funds into this event that I'm not going to make back. It's the sad. I was just taught ranting and everything like that. Well, I said earlier right now that a few episodes ago, I was talking about the dangers of social media and everything like that because of people who can find your location and do whatever they want because people are too preoccupied with clout and attention in order to really recognize the dangers of what social media can pose. The other danger of social media is the danger of just doing stupid crap and just being so dumb because you just want attention. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Thots. I'm talking about Thots always wanting attention. What if I told you that they can't stand not having everybody's attention, that they'll even take attention away during terroristic attacks? They're walking up to Stairmaster and they have shots of their asses. It's like, what? It's like the 9/11 challenge is here to honor our heroes. So here's our ass. And it's just like, one, it's not 110 stairs. Oh, actually, did I say 110? What is it? Let me just watch it real quick, guys. You'll hear the music in the background. Yeah, 110 stairs. It says climb 110 stairs. 110 stairs isn't a lot. Did you mean 110 flights of stairs? Because that's a more realistic number. The World Trade Center wasn't like 10 stories. It was multiple stories. So it's just like walk up 110 stairs. No, walk up 110 flights of stairs. So they did that. And it's like, this is to honor our fallen heroes, the brave men and women, yada yada. But if it was to honor and it was truly that, then why delete it? It's deleted now. I mean, like, their page isn't blocked, but it's deleted. Why? I'm not surprised or anything. It's because it's in bad taste. It's terrible. You're using the acts that brave men and women used in order to try and save people's lives during 9/11 from the World Trade Center burning and falling down and everything. And you're basically like, let's take that, say that we're honoring them just so we can show off our asses. And then people are calling you out for your trash and your trash takes and your trash mentality, and now you delete it. No, stick to your guns. If it was to honor the fallen, stick to your guns and keep it up, but they won't. I'm not saying go harass them, go bully them or anything. No. I'm not advocating for that one bit at all. I'm just saying people get what they deserve, and these ladies surely got that, and it's sad. But yeah, well, that's really about my topics. I'm just gonna close it off with this. Remember yesterday I said I was gonna do Argonian swamp shrimp, so I did it. I was kind of scared because the recipe, or at least the picture, showed that the sauce was supposed to be of a very thick consistency, and it said only stir for a few minutes when I started doing everything. My consistency was very watery, and so I was like, you know what? No. In order to make gumbo, you need to use flour, and you gotta spin it. you gotta stir it continuously for a long time to get it into a proper roux. And I was like, this is the same thing. And yeah, it reduced by half, and it reduced a little more, and it was a very thick sauce, and I liked it. Well, I like the consistency because I cooked the shrimp and everything, and once the sauce was done, the shrimp was done, I put it all together and everything. Let me tell you, it's not my thing. I feel like I have a very diverse taste palette and everything. I like trying new things. I like trying different things. That wasn't it, Chief. You know, as my boy Kevin says, that wasn't it, Chief. You know, it was just like the consistency was nice. It felt nice. It's just, I gotta say, it was too much salt. It was too salty, And even though I tried to like be like, okay, the flavors are marinating, the flavors are, different, but it's not bad different or anything. I was just like, I've tried different stuff, and none of that stuff made me go like, I don't want this. It's like, even if I didn't like it didn't make me go, I don't want this. Like in the first few minutes, are you going to swamp chip? Yeah, it made me go that way, and I was just like, all right, well, just knock this off as a swing and a miss and everything, but it's all right. Still won't take me away from trying all the other recipes, which I might try one again today. But you live and learn. Cooking is fun. I encourage all of you to do that. Truly, I do. Alrighty. I don't know why I just cut off that way. Well, anyways, guys, thank you very much for tuning in to another episode of The Mind of Mando. I hope you guys have a very wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and take care of yourselves. See ya.